Okay. Hello aspirants, welcome to the class test. As part of anthropology optional, Mohan Reddy Academy, we are trying to provide a comprehensive anthropology related course, and at the same time in this class we will try to understand why anthropology optional is considered to be a popular optional, what are the advantages of it, and then we will try to understand what is the syllabus which is mentioned as part of anthropology. This anthropology optional is considered to be called as a gateway to the UPSC. So, that itself indicates that it is one of the most popular optional taken by the rankers, and it is giving good results in recent past. And we come up with a comprehensive course. Myself, Mohan Reddy, and Shailaja Arati ma'am will try to guide you to excel in anthropology. If you take the syllabus, that exam pattern as per the syllabus, if you consider, so these are considered to be various components given by the UPSC. In these components, if you see, the weightage of the optional subject is 500 marks. Out of 1750 marks, so 500 marks has been allocated to optional. So, this optional plays a crucial role to clear the UPSC CSE exam. So, that is why the selection of optional is very, very important. And in this context, I want to explain you why anthropology is considered to be one such optional every aspirant has to take it. For example, UPSC has given elaborate syllabus for the anthropology. So, that means if any of the student starting their preparation in UPSC, they need to complete the syllabus, revise them, excel the subject, write the exam in an appropriate way to maximize the score. So, in anthropology, the syllabus is clearly defined. What are the topics, subtopics were being elaborately explained and given as a syllabus for the students, which can be completed in 4 to 5 months of coaching. After that, revision of 2 to 3 months, and then later you can practice tests, and then you can write the mains exam, get good score. So, in that case, anthropology is one of the subject which you can get the marks. Next one is like a subject creates an interest among the students. So, every student has a certain area of interest. So, in the anthropology optional subject, you have many types of topics in such a way that it create a interest among the students. So, these are the topics which you are been every day experiencing, and learn the subject through lively examples, which will be helpful to understand the subject and reproduce them in an effective way. So, that is why the creation of interest among the students is also one of the parameter need to be considered for the selection of optionals. So, that is why anthropology is also one such optional which create a sense of interest among the students. And next one is a high success rate. So, high success rate in the sense many people are applying for the UPSC CSE exam, but in current context, if you consider the persons applied and the people who have got the good ranks, the percentage weightage is high for anthropology. So, that is one of the reason why a student has to take anthropology as an optional. Next one, easy to score 300 plus. So, in recent past, if you take any of the optional, thus particularly social sciences optional, getting 300 is common thing, and at the same time this 300 marks will definitely value add to your score. But in anthropology, not only 300 plus, at one time it has given almost 350 plus marks. So that means the subject itself is in such a way that you can write easily good answers and get good score in anthropology. So that is the reason here the getting a 300 plus score with minimal effort is possible only with the anthropology. Next one is it is of more static and less dynamic in nature. So some of the particular optionals, I don't want to name them, they are very dynamic and students are struggling to get the answers, write it in the mains exam, they are facing many difficulties. So, but in case of anthropology, the syllabus and the research done in anthropology is less. So because of which student can comfortably understand the subject, learn the subject. In the next coming attempts, it will be very easy for them to revise and reproduce and get good score. So that's why any of the particular optional, if it is of more static in nature, definitely helpful for the students. Next one is overlap of GS syllabus. So there are many topics in each and every GS related subjects can be connected to the anthropology. So that means I will explain what are the GS topics which are connected to anthropology later. This is also one of the parameter in which the anthropology is been related. And good guidance and at the same time the knowledge which has been acquired by the anthropology can be helpful in different ways in the preparation of exam, after the exam as well. So that means as we have considered the real time experience of the subject, we can apply them in a real time applications, will give you the enhancement of the knowledge towards the society, and you can prefer to give good possible answers even in case of interview. So that's why this anthropology optional is helpful in interviews, and at the same time the knowledge can be acquired with the help of good guidance. So these are some of the reasons why we need to go for anthropology optional. And here I want to show you some results with respect to the anthropology optional, how it is been performing. So in which areas it is been related with GS and all. For example, performance of anthropology optional, if you consider, the success rate is more than 10%. So most of the toppers are been produced every year. So here you can see the marks which they have got. So in 2018, the anthropology aspirants, so one of the aspirant, Lakshmi Nagappa, secured 45th rank and got 362 marks, which itself indicated that the social, among all the social sciences optionals, the anthropology is producing many number of aspirants who are able to clear the exam and securing 300 plus marks easily. So this is considered to be one of the example why this anthropology optional has to be chosen by the aspirants. Next, at the same time, every particular aspirant has one doubt whether we can perform in the social sciences or not, particularly the engineering students and other background students, whether they can opt this particular anthropology optional or not. Because in recent past, if you take the statistics with respect to the UPSC, many of the engineering students percentage is increasing. So they want to get good score. Then most of them are choosing social sciences as an optional. Among them, anthropology is one such optional which is chosen by many of the aspirants. So how much background plays a crucial role in choosing the optional means, I will give you some examples where you can see how the particular aspirants are able to select this anthropology optional, securing good ranks. So for example, here Anudeep Durshetty is one of the aspirant who secured first rank with BTech electrical engineering. So that means irrespective of the background, you are able to secure the good rank, a good score. So that means that is possible only with the anthropology optional. And Uma Harati, again BTech civil engineering, IIT Hyderabad, secured third rank in 2022. Similarly, Ananya Reddy, so secured third rank with BA geography. So that means there are different variations with respect to the background of the aspirants, but all of them are choosing anthropology as an optional and trying to get good score in the UPSC mains exam. So that is considered to be one of the advantage of taking anthropology optional. Next one is overlap with the GS subject. So there are many GS subjects are there, GS 1, 2, 3 and 4. So if you consider GS 1, so in GS 1 Indian prehistory is been correlated with anthropology related subject. Example, prehistory, Indian society, social justice. So for these topics you can write better answers if you get the anthropological orientation of subject. And at the same time GS2, if you consider few topics in related to polity, particularly SC/ST related concepts and governance related concepts. So these are also been discussed in anthropology briefly with respect to the paper 2. Next one, GS3 consisting of internal security, example ethnic movements, science and technology, biotechnology related topics. So in anthropology we have ethnic movements are there, ethnicity are there. That is, these are some of the concepts we will try to understand with respect to tribals point of view. So if you read the topics, automatically you can write better answers with respect to internal security. Next one is science and technology, biotechnology they have given. So biotechnology means related to genetics. In physical anthropology we will try to correlate this genetics, development of genetics in recent past, and which is helpful to get maximize the score in science and technology. Next GS4, if you consider, there are many ethical dilemmas are there. So dilemmas means a situation will be given to you, you need to write the elaborate answer for that particular situation. So here all the time, so there is one particular traditional problem which was being given by UPSC, tribal rights versus tribal development. So tribal rights in the sense constitution has given certain rights, fundamental rights to the people, and government has passed a law like Forest Rights Act, provide certain basic rights to the tribal people, which we call it as a tribal rights. And tribal development means construction of roads or construction of power projects. So government is acquiring the land. So whenever government acquires the land, so whether their tribal rights are being violated or not. For the development, you have to take the rights of the tribals, and accordingly the project has to be constructed. So in that context, all the time tribal rights versus tribal development. So this is one of the ethical dilemma which government is facing with respect to implementation of various projects is considered to be in the news every time. So in that context, what should be the approach of the student while writing the answers? So every particular scenario will be different, and for that purpose anthropological perspective is very important, which will enhance your knowledge and which can be applied in ethical dilemmas. So these are some of the areas GS is overlapped with anthropology optional, and if you have the knowledge of anthropology, you can write better answers in these GS areas. Next one. So already I have said about anthropology is of more static and less dynamic in nature. So I have taken the recent question paper of anthropology, and I want to show you how the questions will be asked in anthropology. So for example, if you consider, so paper 1 here, section A. So in that first question is compulsory, you will be given 5 questions which is of 10 marker, and the second question and third question, fourth question has 3 questions each. Okay. So if you see the particular questions is attributes of culture. So like this direct statements which are taken from the syllabus and given as question. So for example, another one, if you consider Harappan maritime trade. So Harappa is given as a one of the word in paper 2, but it is also related to the paper 1. So in that context, Harappan maritime trade, lethal and sublethal genes. So these are considered to be some of the words which are exclusively mentioned in the syllabus given as questions. So which shows that subject is more of static in nature. So that is the reason they are slightly connecting to the current affairs and giving the same word in the main exam paper which will be very easy for the student to recollect the subject and write it in a better way. So this is considered to be the corresponding question paper. You can take any particular question. You can find one keyword which is from the syllabus and the one of the current affairs related to it. So that means in anthropology easily we can predict what type of questions can be asked in the examination point of view. Okay. So these are some of the questions. So this is section B related questions. Even in the section B related question also you can see gene mutation. Okay. And at the same time Levi-Strauss on myth. So these are some of the keywords. So based on that keyword you can understand the question in much better way and accordingly you can answer it. So these are some of the questions related to paper 1 in anthropology. Similarly, if you take paper 2, so origin of state societies. Okay. In anthropology the beauty is like paper 1 and paper 2 are being interlinked every time. So you can write the examples of paper 2 in paper 1 and examples of paper 1 you can write in paper 2. So that means it is easy for the student, once you read some of the examples you can relate paper 1 and paper 2. So even the questions are also asked in similar way. So that's why the anthropological perspective will enhance the knowledge, at the same time it will be helpful in the paper 1 and paper 2 to maximize the score. So here another one is like PISA Act. Okay. So these are some of the keywords. Again you can see Harappan civilization. So in recent past there is a huge research is going on, sites are being excavated with respect to Harappan civilization. So that's why even in paper 1 they have asked the question related to Harappa, and in paper 2 same exam they have asked the question related to Harappa. So that itself indicates that the subject is of more of static in nature, and at the same time student can easily read and reproduce. So this is another section B questions related to paper 2. Next one, if you see the trend analysis. In anthropology easily we can understand the what is a trend, the way of questions are being given. So if you see the corresponding first topic, so meaning, scope and development. So in the last particular most of the years, every year one 10 marker questions is being asked, and similarly from the human evolution you can see alternative years, or every year, every 2 years there is a break and they are asking again. So that means based on this trend analysis you can easily understand in which areas the questions are being asked. Some of the areas are being left out, we need to concentrate on those areas, and accordingly so we have to collect the information, focus on those areas, and easily you can get the score. So for example, biological basis of life. So this is one of the topic for many of the years they did not give any of the question. So in 2023 they have given 10 marker. So like this there are some areas the UPSC is not concentrating, there are some areas in which it is concentrating a lot. So for example, every subject has anthropological theories in the sense. So this particular anthropological theories is considered to be the heart of the socio-cultural anthropology. So you need to focus on those theories. Every year you will get some questions, maximum number of marks are being covered in only one chapter. So that's why this particular theories is very important. We will discuss elaborately. And at the same time, so principles of prehistoric archaeology. So here also you can see the number of questions which are being asked related to archaeology has increased. So this is how we try to understand the trend analysis and easily predict the questions, and we provide the basic particular concepts and preparatory notes, previous year question analysis in the classes, which will help you to get good score in anthropology. So this is the trend analysis related to the paper 1, and next one it is also paper 1. So this is next one is related to the paper 2. So these are some of the points which I want to highlight. So with respect to the anthropology. Okay. So next one is reference books. So what are the reference books required for anthropology? So this is considered to be for paper 1 if you consider. So there are only 2 books we are referring. So one is socio-cultural anthropology, so written by me and Shailaja ma'am, and this particular book covers elaborate information regarding the socio-cultural anthropology. So in this particular chapter, particular book, you can see, so most of the chapters related to the paper 1 has been covered. So it is from paper 1 chapter 1, and at the same time so 1.1 to 1.3 it has been covered the information, and 2 to 8th chapter. So these are the chapters which are covered in this particular socio-cultural anthropology book. And physical anthropology book from chapter 9 to 12. So in this physical anthropology, P. Nath is being referred, and this book is a little bit bulky. We will provide you the basic short notes required for the students, and that will help you to understand the subject and reproduce. Okay, and other books like you can consider the material which is given by us. So whatever the materials so related to the paper 1 and paper 2 for the students is very much helpful. Apart from that, if you take paper 2 particularly, okay, so paper 2 can be divided into Indian anthropology, at the same time tribal anthropology, and Indian archaeology. Okay, so Indian anthropology you can refer the Nadim Hasnain, okay, and tribal anthropology Nadim Hasnain, but these books are only for the reference purpose. So these are old books, so the new data was been not covered in that particular books. So we are providing the various reports. Okay, so in the material we will try to cover various types of reports. So and at the same time, so Ministry of Tribal Affairs, okay, annual report will be taken. What are the different types of schemes implemented by the government, particularly for the tribals, was been considered, and Ministry of Social Justice, we will take the schemes related to the SCs, OBCs and other particular section of people, and Ministry of Minorities. So we will take the annual reports of each ministries, summarize them, give it as a material so that student can read them easily, effectively write the answers to maximize the score. So these are some of the reference books which I want to say, and at the same time finally you have to rely on the material which we are giving, so that it will be in a customized manner required for examination point of view. Okay, next one is you can see optional program. So in this optional program you can see the classes will be conducted 4 to 5 months. Each class will be of almost 1.5 hour. Okay, so 1.5 hour will be taken, 1 hour 30 minutes. Okay, and at the same time comprehensive material will be given, and mentorship sessions. So we will conduct the tests. So with respect to the test analysis or with respect to the feedback or clearing any of the subjects, we will try to connect with any of the particular senior students, and at the same time, so we will try to guide you, write the best answers to maximize the score, and regular tests will be there. So detailed analysis with a detailed schedule with respect to the program will be given to you, and you can collect that. At the same time you can see regular tests will be given, conducted on every Sunday. Within 1 week time period you will get the corrected answer scripts, and you can see the value addition material, get the value addition material every time. So value addition material is like any current affairs related to the subjects, so it can be considered as value addition material. So that is also been given to the students who are preparing for the anthropology optional. So these are some of the topics or contents so we are providing as part of the anthropology optional program. And so at the same time so what is unique which we are providing? So unique is like with respect to the subject, so we will try to restructure the subject as per the requirement understanding of the students. So for example, so we have paper 1 and paper 2. Okay, so in this paper 1, so we will try to collect all the socio-cultural anthropology related chapters, and then we will discuss at a time, and after that so we will try to connect it to the paper 2. So the similar topics which are related to the paper 1 and paper 2, we will combinedly discuss at a time, so that you can relate paper 1 and paper 2. So that is considered to be called as restructuring the syllabus. At the same time, unconventional relatable examples. So unconventional in the sense, so in anthropology we have 4 disciplines. So socio-cultural anthropology, physical anthropology, linguistic anthropology, archaeological anthropology. So here unconventional in the sense, some of the archaeological related examples can also be connected to socio-cultural anthropology. So that is why we call anthropology as a holistic particular study. So here unconventional related examples are taken, try to connect to the subject and use it how to write those examples in the answers. Next one is like reliable sources. So reliable sources in the sense, we will take that efforts to create the material which is required for the student. So that is considered to be called as a reliable sources and provide you value addition material which is required for the students. And live discussions with respect to the doubt clearing sessions. Every Saturday or Sunday we will take up 1 hour time and try to clear the doubts, so that we will try to conduct the Zoom sessions and clear the doubts, so that student can be connected, clear their doubts effectively, learn the subject in a comprehensive way. And reverse revision methods are also been followed. Reverse revision method in the sense, so I will try to ask you the questions with respect to the any topics which was been taught in last 1 week. In that Zoom sessions, we will try to give you the basic insights. At the same time, try to connect to the students in such a way we will try to inculcate the subject into the students. So that is considered to be one type of approach we are been following. So reverse revision method. And at the same time, in this reverse revision method, we will try to cover maximum previous year question analysis. We will try to provide the subject, at the same time we will give you the ample knowledge required for the student. They can come out with a good conceptual knowledge. So that is the idea of this particular course. So you can prepare yourself after the completion of the course. You need not rely on anyone after this completion of the course. So this is one type of method we are been implementing. Next, systematic coverage of each and every particular topic. Okay, so these are some of the unique points which will be implemented as part of the anthropology course. Okay, so now we will try to understand what is anthropology, what is the syllabus given by the UPSC related to anthropology. So everyone know that anthropology is considered to be study of human sciences. Okay, so here we will try to divide the word called as anthropology is divided into anthropos and logos. Anthropos means humans, logos means study, or you can say science or knowledge. So study of humans is considered to be called as anthropology. So in UPSC, so the syllabus which is given according to the study of humans, it will be discussed in current context. So if you see, the first chapter includes meaning, scope and development of anthropology. So because every discipline, if you consider, every optional you can consider. So it was not completely as an optional which is been formed. So that means every optional has been formed recently 1850s or 1900s. So if you take anthropology as one of the optional, it has been studied from ancient period onwards, particularly Greek thinkers and all. They studied the society, but they did not mention anything about anthropology. But it is only in the 1850s the importance of anthropology has been explained by the thinkers, and accordingly it evolved as one of the discipline. So here in this first chapter we will try to understand how the anthropology has been evolved over a period of time as a discipline. So that is will be discussed in meaning, scope and development of anthropology. So scope in the sense how many particular branches in different applications this anthropology concept can be useful. So that is considered to be called as scope. Development means development of anthropology as an optional one discipline is considered to be called as development over here. So that will be discussed. Next, relationship with other disciplines. So why they have mentioned this relationship with other disciplines means the anthropology related concepts or topics are not with anthropology earlier. Some topics are been with the history, some topics are with earth sciences, humanities or sociology, medical sciences, life sciences. All those are been summarized and created one discipline that is called as anthropology. So that is the reason they are comparing the anthropology with other disciplines. How the anthropology is important in the current daily life can be learned with the help of this relationship with other disciplines. Next, if you see, anthropology as a subject is divided into 4 branches, main branches. There are sub branches are there, lot of sub branches are there. Here we consider only 4 main branches. So one is socio-cultural anthropology or social anthropology. Next, biological anthropology or physical anthropology, archaeological anthropology, linguistic anthropology. All these are considered to be called as main branches of anthropology. So these branches have their own particular way of applications. So their own way of methods which were being developed over a period of time. So we will try to understand what is the scope, relevance, different types of methods which were being used in each and every particular branches of anthropology will be discussed as part of 1.3. Next one is like evolution of human and emergence of man. So that means how the modern humans are being evolved from the primates. So we will try to understand. If you see the syllabus, what they have given is like biological and cultural factors in human evolution. So that means how the humans are evolved. So either in terms of biological factors which led to the evolution of human, or cultural related factors. Cultural related factors means whatever the food they take, the tools they use, or any type of habitat conditions we can consider as cultural factors. So how those factors are influencing the humans with respect to evolution will be discussed. And to understand the evolution of humans, organic evolution theories are being developed. So we can divide the theories into taking reference as a Darwin, we can divide the theories into pre-Darwinian theories, post-Darwinian theories and Darwinian. So these are the 3 types of the classification of theories of evolution of humans, organic evolution of humans. So that's why we will try to understand what are pre-Darwinian theories, Darwinian theories and post-Darwinian theories. Next one is like synthetic theory is considered to be one of the theory which was been explained as part of post-Darwinian theories, and different types of concepts we will try to understand. Dole's rule, Cobb's rule, Gauss rule and convergence, adaptive radiation, mosaic evolution. All these are different types of concepts are helpful to understand how the human evolution has been done over a period of time. For example, in the subject when we discussed about different types of concepts, I will try to give you the pictographic representation so that you can easily understand the subject. Okay, and here the theories of organic evolution with respect to the Darwinian theory I am saying. So Darwinian has given many types of principles. So one of the principle is theory of natural selection. So in this theory of natural selection, so what you need to understand is like so most of the time survival of the fittest is one of the principle advocated by the Darwin. So that means whoever the particular the species which are being strong enough, they will go for the next generation. So that is the principle which was being used by the Darwin, and accordingly he applied for the human evolution. So in human evolution also some of the species has been got extinct, and accordingly others has been progressed. So how they have been progressing will be explained with the help of survival of the fittest. So here they have taken some of the insects, moths, and try to explain the concept called as survival of the fittest. And this was being explained by Darwin in the origin of species. So that is the book name. In anthropology, all the time you need to focus on thinkers and their books and what are the concepts which they have produced. So that is one of the tough part. You need to adjust to that particular toughness, then easily you can maximize the score. So this is one of the approach we are following. Similarly, Dole's law of irreversibility. So that means like so these are some of the tetrapods, okay, ancestors of the snakes. So in any of the particular species, the lost structures are gone. You cannot retrieve them. So that means like earlier these type of particular species has the legs or some of the things which were helpful for the movement of that particular species, but that was been lost over a period of time in the snakes. So whenever any species has lost the particular evolutionary process, so certain particular concept, or you can see with respect to the limbs or with respect to any type of body parts are been lost over a period of time, organs are been lost over a period of time, it cannot be irreversible. So that is considered to be called as a Dole's law. So that means like you need to understand, so this particular concept in the pictographic manner, which will be helpful to understand in a much better way. So that is what I want to explain. I want to give you the information, and at the same time, what are the characteristics of primates? So this is a 1.5 chapter. So if you see here characteristics of primates, so they have given evolutionary trend of primate taxonomy. So primates are considered as ancestors of modern humans. At this point of juncture, you can remember it like that. Okay. So next, how the primates are being adapted to the conditions, environmental conditions or ecological conditions during their period. So we will try to understand primate adaptations. Arboreal and terrestrial. Some of the primates are living only on the trees. Slowly they have come to the land. So walking on the two legs. So that is called as terrestrial primates. And primate behavior is also one of the thing which was been studied, like human behavior. So primate behavior also been studied by the scientists. So that was been understood, so that how the primates were been behaving and comparing with the humans. So similar contexts can be explained, and we can get the solutions for the problems faced by the humans from the animals. So that is one of the research area most of the people are been focusing. So primate behavior, and quaternary and tertiary fossil primates are there. Quaternary and tertiary are considered to be the periods. During that period, what are the different types of primates which were been living in that period? Living major primates means in current context also we have some of the primates available. So what are the living major primates in current context? Okay, so you can consider as a gorilla, chimpanzee, all these are considered to be called as living major primates, you can consider, and we can compare the skeletal structure, anatomical structure of man and apes, and skeletal changes due to erect posture. So once the primates are been coming from arboreal to terrestrial, the erect posture has been evolved over a period of time. So what are the skeletal changes which has been occurred in the humans can be discussed as part of this chapter. So here you can see, so just I want to give you the small glimpse regarding different types of primates. Okay, so for example here orangutans are there, gibbons, gorillas, and baboons or macaws, chimpanzees, anyone. So if you see primate behavior, you can understand that in orangutans, so they live individually, they will live alone, all the time they were been alone. So they doesn't mingle with other particular species, its own species, all the time they want to be alone. So and at the same time interact mainly during the mating. So at the time of mating, so at the time of the child, so they will interact, otherwise most of the time they will be in a isolation, or they will be in a alone particular space. So that is considered to be the feature of orangutan. Similarly gibbon, if you consider, so this is one of the particular species, you can see strong pair bonds. So that means like so whenever certain species are being paid, okay, so like wife and husband, they are being paid, so through a ritual called as marriage. Similarly in gibbons, once they are being paid, automatically they live particularly together, and both the parents participate in care and protection of their children. So this is the family system which was been followed in the primates, and similarly with that of the humans. So this is one of the example you can consider. And gorillas. So gorillas, if you see, dominant adult male features are been mostly followed. So here several females are there, and offsprings are there, and one male gorilla is there. So that means like, so polygamy is being followed. So, one husband, many wives, similar type of pattern is been observed in gorillas. So, these are some of the particular primate behaviors we will try to understand when we discuss the subject in detail. So, these are some of the examples which I want to show it to. Next one is like phylogenetic status, characteristics and geographical distribution. So, these are considered to be different types of species which were being recognized by the paleontologists or archaeological anthropology. So, they try to give the evolutionary position with respect to the different type of the species in the human evolution. So, these are considered to be some of the fossils which were being given in the syllabus, like you can consider pre-Pleistocene hominids in South East Africa. So, example is Australopithecus, Homo erectus. At the same time Neanderthals, Rhodesian man, Homo sapiens, all these are different types of species with respect to the human evolution they have given in the syllabus. So, which is helpful in understanding how the humans have been evolved. So, one species after other species, how they have been evolved can be understood. So, for example, you can see hominid species is belonging to the Australopithecus afarensis or anamensis. So, Australopithecus afarensis or anamensis, that is the name which is given to the specific fossil, and you can see the time and location, key features discovered by who is considered to be the archaeologist who has discovered this particular species and all. So, that this pictographic representation will give you the sense of understanding of the subject in a much better manner, and accordingly you can understand the subject and reproduce them to maximize the score. So, these are some of the points. Next one is like a biological basis of life. So, here in 1.7, so what they are saying is like so cell, chromosome, structures and mutations etc. are being given as a syllabus, and we will try to discuss what are the basic understanding of the cell, chromosome and other particular related information. Okay. And next 1.8 is related to the principles of prehistory. So, that means history means which is a recorded version, availability of information in terms of books or any other way. So, that we call it as a history. Prehistory means particularly of Stone Age. Okay. So, metal ages. So, you can consider so Paleolithic, so Mesolithic, Neolithic, Chalcolithic, and then so Megalithic, Iron Age, all those are considered to be called as the chronology which we try to understand with respect to the prehistoric. And in this context itself, we will try to understand what are the different types of methodologies used to understand. So, dating techniques are there to once we get the any type of artifacts. So, if we got any type of artifacts like pots, okay, and then we have to find the time period. So, chronological order, we need to find the time period. In that context, we will use some of the dating techniques we will be discussing as part of the 1.8 chapter prehistory. Okay. So, next one is about the nature of culture, next one is nature of society. So, culture and society. So, these are the two words which are given in the syllabus. So, every particular society has culture. So, then what is considered means in sense of beliefs or religion or family system which were being created by the people, we all together put together, we can call it as a culture. So, here we can understand what is the concept of culture characteristics. So, many of the particular anthropologists, while they are studying about the humans, so they try to understand the culture which they have developed. So, that is very important. Next one is how culture has been developed by the people over a period of time, the civilization. So, what is considered to be called as civilization? Civilization means some of the thinkers has given a small definition like it should have a trade, external trade, internal trade, script they should be there, certain features should be developed like urbanization. So, then then that particular place, site or cities, we call it as a civilization. So, Indus Valley civilization, Rig Vedic civilization. So, these are considered to be the examples with respect to civilization. So, here they have given concept of culture, concept of civilization. So, how the thinkers are scientifically studying the culture and civilization in a much broader manner can be discussed as part of culture. Next, ethnocentrism and cultural relativism. Two concepts are also given in the syllabus. Ethnocentrism means studying the particular society in the anthropologist point of view. So that means like certain particular people understand their culture in their own perspectives. So that means like any anthropologist so who is going to study different types of tribals. So all the time anthropologists, what they do is they will give their own opinion on the living style of the tribes. That concept we call it as a ethnocentrism. And cultural relativism means, so some of the thinkers, again anthropologists say that, like Franz Boas said that you need to analyze the culture of the people in the people's point of view. So then we call it as a cultural relativism. So these are the two concepts which were being developed by the thinkers, and that was being discussed as a concept. So that is nature of culture. Nature of society. So nature of society is concept of society, society and culture. So here concept of society in the sense, any country if you go, so we have one particular culture and one society. So society can be considered to be called as a group of people living in one space, is considered to, they can form one society. And in that society we have institutions, social institutions. Social institutions means a group of people has one institution called as marriage, family, religion. So those are all considered to be called as institutions. So because people usually inherent nature of humans is socialization. So in that socialization they try to go create certain institutions and groups. They live in groups. And here once they are forming certain groups, okay, so forming certain groups, definitely there will be certain differences. That differences can be analyzed with a concept called as social stratification. So example, in India you have caste system. So every particular caste has different specific features. For example, you consider some of the castes. So barbers are there, okay, some of the potters are there. So there are certain castes are dominant caste, we call it as. So upper caste we call it as. Some of them are lower caste, we call it as. So how these castes are being evolved in the sense they can be evolved based on profession, occupation. Okay, so that is one of the theory. So in castes we will try to understand what are the different types of theories caste has been evolved. So currently try to understand that social stratification means the people are being divided based on one concept, example caste. So these group of people who are being created based on their occupations or any of the factors are being divided. So that can be, those people can be analyzed with a concept called as social stratification. So that will be discussed as part of nature of society. Next one is you can see marriage. So wherever you go in different type of societies, in culture you can find so one of the practice which was been followed by the people is considered to be called as marriage. Okay, so you can see different types of marriages over here. So in this marriage what they have mentioned is like so whether this particular marriage concept is universally applied or not. So that is the first concept. Next at the same time, laws of marriages. What are the rules and regulations which are been created by the people in different type of societies, and laws of marriage, functions of marriage, marriage regulations. So these marriage regulations will try to give you a sense of understanding whom to marry, so whom you should not marry. So these particular regulations are being provided by the people and created by the people themselves, so that society can go in an order way. So that is the idea why these marriage regulations are being created. Marriage payments, bride wealth and dowry are considered to be called as marriage payments. So these marriage payments are being created based on the social conditions of the people. So we will try to understand elaborately when we discuss the subject. Next one is about the family. So you can see different types of families are there. So nuclear family, famous particular type of family, joint family, extended family. So here whether this particular definition of family given by the anthropologist universally it is applied or not. So will be discussed as part of it. Next family, household and domestic group. So what is considered to be called as a family, how it is different from household and as well as domestic group. So functions of family, types of family, impact of urbanization, industrialization and feminist particular groups on the family. So that means like so feminist movements which were been started in 19th century has been a profound influence on the family system. So the particular feminist movements means how they have started is particularly during the time of World War I. So most of the women has agitated against the governments to recognize the rights for the women. So once you recognize the rights for the women, so if they are starting going to work, so in place of men, so then how the family system is undergoing certain changes will be discussed as part of impact of feminist movement or urbanization, industrialization on family. Next one is like kinship. So kinship means, again you can see, so a family is a group consisting of many people, okay, so which is of close relatives and the relatives which are created. So those relationship, so close relations are called as kins, and the study of those relationships we can call it as a kinship. So in this kinship, so we will try to understand so consanguinity and affinity. So consanguinity means blood relatives, so how they are being created, and affinity means marriage related relations, how they are being created, and different types of relations are being formed with the marriages or any type of rituals performed by the people. So adoption is also one of them. So because of those concepts, how the kinship is been changing or how the kin relations are being formed, so can be analyzed. Next, principles, types of descent. Okay, so descent in the sense unilineal, double descent or bilateral descent or ambilineal descent, and other descents are also there. So we will try to understand them, so with respect to principles and types of descent, and forms of descent groups, kinship terminology, descent filiation and complementary filiation. So that means like this particular chapter will give you the understanding how the people should be recognized and how they are being related, and what are the different types of groups they have been formed, what are the rules they have been created will be discussed as part of kinship. So that is the point you need to remember. Next one is like economic organization. So economic organization means in any of the society, if you see, okay, so exchange of goods takes place, production of goods takes place, consumption will takes place. All those particular principles are being analyzed in economic organization related chapter. So meaning, scope and relevance of economic anthropology, that is one of the topic we will discuss, and formalist and substantivist debate. So that means how this particular choice of goods and different types of locus of exchange, how the people are being economic anthropology has been evolved over a period of time. We will discuss that. In that many of the thinkers are being divided into two categories: formalist, one group of people; substantivist as another group of people. So what are the arguments of these people with respect to the economic organization, we will try to understand. That is called as a formalist substantivist debate. And principles of governing production, okay, different types of goods, how they are been producing, distribution and exchange. So and in this exchange we will try to understand concepts called as reciprocity, redistribution, market. So if you take in current context, if you go to any type of market in current context, so you buy the goods, in exchange to the goods you will give the money. So that means market is considered to be the locus of exchange, so where you can exchange certain goods with the money. So money is considered to be called as a medium of exchange. Money is considered to be one of the parameter which was used by the people in modern days. In olden days that is not the case, they used to follow barter system. So in that case of exchange of goods, how the people are process which was been followed by the people can be analyzed. So in this exchanges, so that we call it as a reciprocity, redistribution and different types of exchanges are there market. Okay, and so here in these principles are being analyzed in different particular societies. So you can consider hunting and gathering, fishing, swiddening, pastoralism, horticulture, agriculture, all these are considered to be different types of societies. So we will try to understand how they are producing the goods, how they are consuming, how they are redistributing. Okay. Next, globalization and indigenous of economic system. So that means because of globalization, how the economic activities are undergoing changes in different types of societies. You can see different types of societies over here. Okay. Next one is like a political organization. Okay. So political organization in the sense, so political and social organization, if you see, so there are certain division of power among the people within the society. It can be analyzed with the help of a concept called as political organization and social control. So, for example, in syllabus they have given first what are the different types of you can consider political organizations are being created. So, political organizations are being created based on the group of people, group of a particular area in which the people are been residing, how they are been creating their own institutions. So, for example, band is one group, tribe is one group, chiefdom and kingdom or state. Kingdom or state you can consider as morely of similar in nature. So, how these particular particular political organizations are being created. So, what are the basic features of them? So, in particularly band means you can consider as hunting and gathering community, which is in which the people are very less in number, and there are in that particular band people situational leadership is being taken by the people. So, within that community. So, most of the time band is being guided by the seniors. So, seniors means elder people. So, here those are considered to be some of the features of band. Egalitarian type of society is been mostly followed. So, like similarly, what are the basic features of different political organizations created by the people in different societies? So, we will try to understand. In that societies, how the power, authority and legitimacy has been defined. So, power is like you can take the power forcefully with even it is violating the view or will of the people. So, that particular implying certain to do things on other section of the people, we call it as a power. So, and authority means, so the power which is defined in any of the particular law by the government. So, IAS is considered to be one of the authority. So, government has created one post and it was mentioned in different laws. That laws will give you the authority. So, that means your power is defined in any of the laws. So, then it is considered to be authority. So, this power and authority which was accepted by the people. So, then we call it as a legitimacy. So, then here these power, authority, legitimacy, how they are being followed in different types of political organizations or different types of societies, and what are the characteristics related to them will be discussed in chapter 4. Next one is social control, law and justice in simple societies. So, for example, simple societies in the sense primitive societies, tribal societies. So, which are in which the people are following age old technology and they want to live in high elevated areas or distant areas. So, they are considered to be called as a simple societies. In that simple societies, how the people are being regulated, what are the rules and regulations are being followed. If any person is doing certain mistake, how the justice system is being followed, particularly in tribal areas or any particular simple societies. So, that is the concept which was mentioned. Next one is about the religion. So, religion is considered to be one of the fascinating thing which was been for the anthropologist from the starting onwards. So, every particular anthropologist, they want to study the religion, how it has been evolved. So, from there they created a sense of interest among the subject and accordingly they developed certain theories as well. So, example is E.B. Taylor, remember this name. Okay. So, for example, in anthropology related syllabus, if you consider anthropological approaches to study religion. So, there are different types of approaches are created by the anthropologists. One of them is evolutionary theory and psychological theory, functional theory. So, evolutionary theory is proposed by E.B. Taylor. So, E.B. Taylor considered religion is considered, first form of religion is considered to be called as the animism. So, belief in the soul. So, souls. So, is considered to be first form of religion created by the earliest humans. So, that is the opinion of the E.B. Taylor. So, after that polytheism, so next monotheism. So, this is the evolutionary process which was followed by the people according to E.B. Taylor. So, in that evolutionary approach, we will try to understand how the religion has been formed. Similarly, other theories follows. Next, monotheism and polytheism. So, monotheism means only one God and that God will be worshipped. So, in polytheism many gods are there and many gods are being worshipped. So, how these particular monotheism, polytheism or particular concepts are being evolved over a period of time in different societies will be discussed. Next, sacred and profane. Sacred and profane in the sense anything related to the religion, we call it as a sacred. And other functions, so going to the school, college or work, we call it as a profane. So how these particular concepts are been helpful in defining the religion, understanding the religion by the anthropologists discussed in this sacred and profane. Next, myth and rituals. So mythical stories, so some stories which were not real, it may be in the writings of the many of the particular thinkers. So for example, Ramayana and Mahabharata, some people say it is real, some people say it is called as myth. So there is a thin line. So if we have evidences with respect to any type of stories, so which was real, then we consider to be called as a true happenings, historical past of the people. If we don't have proper evidences, we call that particular story or with respect to the books, we call it as a myth. So these are myths and rituals are there. Rituals are considered to be some of the practices which was been followed by the people in religion, so to achieve certain goals. So myth and rituals are been concepts mentioned in the religion. Next, forms of religion. So there are many forms of the religions in different societies. It may be tribal societies or peasant societies. Animism, animatism, so fetishism, naturism and totemism. So these are different types of forms of religion we will discuss later. Religion, magic, science. What are the basic differences with respect to religion, magic and science? We will discuss. Magic or religious functionaries. So in religion or magic, so there are certain functions need to be followed. Who will execute them means there are certain people are there, priest, shaman, medicine man and sorcerer, witch. All these are considered to be called as religious functionaries in different societies. So we will discuss what are the basic characteristics of them. Okay. Next one is anthropological theories. As I said, every discipline has their own theories. In that theories, if you see, so these theories are considered to be the heart of the subject. We will try to understand how the theories have been developed, so on which context they are being developed by different thinkers, what are the different types of sources they have taken, different books they have written, concepts they produced to understand the socio-cultural anthropology related subjects. So that means like from society, culture, marriage, family, kinship, economic organization, political organization, religion. Remember this sequence. So all these particular institutions we can consider or concepts which were developed will be by the anthropologists in this particular anthropological theory. So that is the basic point you need to remember. So from classical evolution to postmodernism, you can see different types of theories and different types of thinkers. So for every thinker and theory, we will try to discuss elaborately. So we have created so the material in such a way that you don't find in any of the particular institution, I can assure that. And at the same time, so that will be given or provided to the students so that they can learn the subject, apply them in a more effective manner. So that is what I can say. Next, at the same time, you can see culture, language and communication. So culture, language and communication, it is part of the linguistic anthropology. So linguistic anthropology. So here, so you can see nature and origin characteristics of language. So that means here we will try to understand how language has been developed. So from the primates to the modern humans, how language has been developed. So different types of languages. So even if you can see, sign languages are also been followed by the primates. The same thing was adopted by the humans. Verbal languages are there, non-verbal languages are there, communications. So these are two variations in which the people are been communicating with each other. So that is considered to be one of the topic which is mentioned in this particular chapter. Next, social context of language use. So by the language, you can define the particular social position of the people. So what are the factors which led to the understanding of social context of language by language use is also a concept which is given in this the chapter. So we will try to understand. Next one is research methods in anthropology. So every discipline has certain research methods. In that research methods, we will try to understand what are the different types of concepts can be understood in a much better manner. So with the help of research methods. Anthropology is also having different types of research methods. So for example, so fieldwork tradition in anthropology. So fieldwork in the sense you want to study the tribal societies. So you have to go to the tribal areas, understand them, get the information, decode the information, produce certain theory. So this is a general approach which is being followed. So earlier there is no possibility for the anthropologists to go and understand the tribal societies. So that's why they go for a secondary sources. Secondary sources in the sense, here they have given a secondary sources of. That means some people have visited the tribal areas like travelers or Christian missionaries or British administrators. You got the information from them and you written the textbook concepts in anthropology, related to anthropology. So that is considered to be called a secondary source of information. Primary source of information means, example you can consider as so one of the research methodology we can consider as the participatory methods. You will go to the tribal areas, get the information, decode it, produce the theory. So participatory information. And at the same time, observation, interviews, schedules, and questionnaire, case study. These are different types of methods which are being used in the anthropology to get the information from the people. And similarly, the technique, method and methodology are the concepts will be discussed as part of this particular chapter. Next, analysis, interpretation and presentation of data. So because you got a vast amount of data, so that data has to be decoded, understand, and accordingly you need to produce the theory. Okay. Next one. So next one is like human genetics. So from 9.1 to 12 chapter, it is physical anthropology, in which we will try to understand more related to the genetics. So for example, human genetics is a study of inheritance. It occurs in human beings. So that means we will try to understand certain concepts, how the genes are being transferred from one generation to another generation, what are the factors related to it, different types of methods related to human genetics will be discussed as part of 9.1. Next one is Mendelian genetics, is the concept which was been trying to explain how the inheritance of the species will take place. Next, the concepts related to the genetic polymorphism and selection. So genetic polymorphism. So poly means many, morphism means forms. So humans, if you see in different areas, they have different forms. How they are being able to get the different forms, so can be studied as part of the concept of genetic polymorphism. So there are many concepts are there. So we will try to understand in a nutshell. Next, chromosomes and chromosomal aberrations in a man and methodology. So that means if you consider this is one of the chromosome. So in chromosome, so there is one problem in any of the chromosome. So if you consider trisomy in 21, Down's syndrome, and trisomy in 18, Edwards syndrome, and trisomy in 13, Patau syndrome. So these are different types of chromosomes. If you have any defects in that particular chromosome, so in that case, so there is a aberration, abnormalities can be shown by the people. So that will be studied as part of these chromosomal aberrations. You can see, so sex chromosomal aberration and autosomal aberrations, genetic imprints in human diseases. So all these are some of the topics which are mentioned related to chromosomal aberrations. So next one is related to the race and racism. You can see all around the world different section of people. Some of the people are white, black, yellowish and red. So how these particular races are being formed, discussed in 9.5 chapter. So race and racism, so biological basis of morphological variations of non-metric and different types of characters of the people. So that means here we will scientifically try to understand how the races are being formed, how the different types of features are being formed based on their environmental conditions. So all these are being discussed in this particular chapter. Next one is about the age, sex, population variations as genetic markers. So you can see here genetic markers are like the people in any of the society has huge diversity. Okay, so diversity. So how to differentiate different section of the people in these diverse conditions? So we can use age, sex, population variations. So different blood is one of the example to differentiate the people from one another in the diverse populous society. So that we can be analyzed as part of genetic markers. So that is 9.6. So that means you try to understand how the people can be divided based on genetic markers. So in that chapter. Next one is like concepts and methods of ecological anthropology. So here we will try to understand in hot conditions, cold conditions, so high altitude conditions, So how the people are undergoing certain physical changes as well as cultural changes. So when you are going from the sea level, so you are living in coastal areas, all of a sudden you visited Himalayas. What are the changes undergone by the humans? So with respect to the change in environmental conditions, how you are able to adapt, acclimatize the conditions will be discussed in this 9.7 chapter. Okay. So next one is like so concepts and methods of ecological anthropology. So they have given biocultural adaptations, genetic and non-genetic factors, and here they have given hot deserts, cold conditions, high altitude climatic conditions. What are the physical variations of the people can be discussed in this particular chapter. Next, epidemiological anthropology. So in this epidemiological anthropology, we will try to discuss about different kind of diseases. Okay. So here, what are the different types of diseases, causative agent, what are the measures need to be taken. So here we will understand not only the biological related aspects, how the people are being affected by diseases. We will try to understand the cultural related aspects in epidemiological anthropology. So you can see here infectious diseases, non-infectious diseases, nutritional deficiency related diseases. All these are considered to be part of epidemiological anthropology. We will discuss elaborately when we discuss the concept. Next one is concept of human growth and development. So from the fertilization process, okay. So from the fertilization process to till the aging of the people. So you can see from the fertilization process to the aging of the people, each and every particular stage evolved by the humans will be discussed as part of a concept of human growth and development. So this is considered to be part of anthropology. Next one is like the population studies. So relevance of menarche, menopause, and fertility patterns, and demographic theories. So biological and sociological ecological factors influencing fertility, natality and mortality. So that means like for example, I will take one word. So fertility is considered to be one of the concept which will give you information about in a reproductive age of women, for how many children the woman is able to give the birth. So that means in a reproductive age means it can be of 20 years or 30 years in the lifetime of women. How many children they are able to give the birth is called as fertility. In recent past, what is happening is fertility patterns are decreasing for some of the countries. If the fertility patterns are decreasing, fertility rate is decreasing, automatically population of that country will decrease. If the population decreases, what are the changes, social changes occurred in the society? Some of the people will be unmarried. Some of the particular people are not able to get proper employment. So these are some of the outcomes of decrease in the fertility. Okay. So we will try to understand biological aspects and cultural aspects as well. So with respect to these concepts in chapter 11. Next one is like applications of anthropology. There are many applications are there. Anthropology as a discipline, so you can apply in nutrition. Anthropology can be applied in sports, okay, and even anthropology can be applied in defense. So forensic anthropology, so to get the information, decode the information at the time of crime. Okay. Next, applied human genetics is there. So paternity diagnosis. So many people are been giving birth to the children. We can find the real father and real mother with the help of the human genetics. So DNA technology in diseases and medicine, serogenetics and cytogenetics in reproductive biology. All these are different types of application related to anthropology. Okay. So these are some of the points you need to remember. Okay. Next one is like so paper to related information. So that we will discuss tomorrow. Okay. So whatever the concepts or the topics which we have discussed with respect to the paper 1 is considered to be the syllabus given by the UPSC. If you want to maximize the score, okay, join the course and get the material, revise, reproduce the concepts, write the tests, definitely you get good score in anthropology. Thank you.